I had two light fixtures just laying around not doing anything, two fluorescent light fixtures. So I thought, well, heck, I've got some areas in the shop where I could use a little bit more light. I figured I would install them. So I hung this one. It's got the, you know, the long cord and also a plug-in on the side so you can daisy chain to another light. And I hung it and plugged it up. It lit for like a half a second and then threw my GFI breaker. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna have to open it up and see if there's maybe a wire shorted or something. The ground fault blew, the breaker did not, but I mean, I'm no electrician, so I'll just have to figure it out. But here's what's going on with it. There's a little power switch on the side. Immediately, let me show you what happens to my GFI. Okay, so luckily I heard kind of the area where it popped earlier. I've got several of these GFIs, several different circuits. But and reset it right here, and it immediately faults because the light's still on, still plugged in. So I'm gonna unplug this thing, and I'll just turn it off for now. Reset my GFI. We're good. Got a green light. And open this thing up and see what's going on with it. Okay, so what I did to gain access to the inside of this thing was removed all the bulbs, then removed this reflector, and it's held on by 12 of these little spring clip things. But to get them out, if you squeeze them with pliers to release it, then you end up destroying it because it's not really spring, it just bends it. So now I'm going to straighten it out. So what I ended up having to do is it's the hole that this thing goes in is basically let's see here, oblong. So to install them, what they do is they install them, you know, this way, and then turn them a quarter turn and they lock in. So that's what I had to do to get them out. But man, it really kind of boogered up this reflector, but I'm sure it's going to be just fine. So the only thing that I see inside here, like I said, I'm no electrician. Got a dadgum computer board up there for a grow light. That's crazy. There's a lot of bugs in here, so I'm going to take the air hose and blow this thing clean and check it out and see if maybe that's the problem. You know, especially down up in here where the electronics are, there might be a bug shorting something out, but man, I don't see nothing wrong with this thing just yet. We'll see how it goes in here in a second. Got it all blown out now. No more bugs possibly doing any shorting or anything. And when I was walking back over here to the back of the truck to set this thing down, I noticed something that caught my eye was this little spot right here. Now I'm not sure what that is. If it's a burnt spot or, pardon me here, trying to get everything in focus, or if it's a piece of tar. I mean, it feels like tar. The other one doesn't have it. There's two of these things, you know. So this same spot would be right there on this one. It's not on that one. I'm going to dig around on this and see what's going on with that. I scratched around on that spot, and it really does feel like tar. There's no hole in the case. There's no burnt insulation on the wires that are around it. So I just put the bulbs back in and turned the switch on, and we're going to see if this thing will work just by blowing it out. Wouldn't that be something? Nope. So anybody have any ideas? Let me know. I may try to pull that power supply out and look at it and see if there's something on the inside of the case that's burnt, but I'm at a loss. I have no idea what's wrong with it. Well, I got this ballast and power supply, whatever you want to call it, out of there. And I think what I was suspecting was correct, that was just a piece of tar, because here is the bottom of that same unit, and it's got that tar-like compound surrounding the transformer. But what I found also in here is that there's a fuse. I can't imagine anybody knowing that there's a daggum fuse, slow blow fuse, hidden down in their fluorescent light. So this unit would have 4. There'll be one here, one there, one there, one there. 4 fuses in it. Just in case you're ever wondering why your stuff doesn't work at all. I mean, that's not my problem, because I'm gonna check it. I've got the meter here ready to go. I'm gonna check that fuse, and both of these that are accessible here, but that's not my problem. A blown fuse would not cause a GFI to trip, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Like I said, I am no electrician. I'm gonna check these things out. I decided I would try to figure out if maybe one of these ballasts is bad. So what I'm going to do is try to isolate, like these 2 wires run this side, the other 2 wires go to this other side. I'm going to see if I can just remove one leg of the power source and plug it in, put the bulbs in, see if one will work by itself. If it blows the GFI, then I'll take these wires off and plug in the other 2 and see if it'll work by itself. That'll at least tell me maybe if there's only one side of this thing that's bad. Of course, there's no telling what could be going on up in here. That right there just doesn't make any sense to me. But let's see how that goes. Okay, got all the bulbs back in. Only one ballast is actually wired up, and the test still got a problem. We're going to check and see if the other one will go. Now we're powering the ballast that is that had the black spot on it, and we've disabled the one that's closest to me. I got the GFI reset over there, and let's try this. Alright, so I would say it's not a ballast. It's probably that stupid computer board up in there, or just something. This thing worked last year. When we shut it off, it worked, and now it doesn't. I don't understand it. It's made for a wet environment, but it's never been in a wet environment. It's actually a grow light, so they have to be able to withstand moisture. So that should not be the problem. Like I said, it's been inside its entire life anyway. So kind of weird. Let you know if I find anything else. Like I said, if you have any idea what could be wrong with this thing, just post a comment, please. Thanks a lot. Sometimes it's just as simple as it can possibly be. All I had to do was plug that light into an outlet that is not protected by GFI, a generator. That's what it's on.